Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the beautiful 1.5 mile quad oval of Atlanta Motor Speedway. This thing is fast. This thing has got a ton of grip. This thing's got the new pavement here. We're on the newer version here of Atlanta, so these drivers will be able to pretty much set that car wherever they want and should provide us with some really great racing here. CORE Xfinity Series here live on CRN. Carl Hamrick joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, this thing is, it can run a bit like a super speedway with the amount of grip that's out there and the lanes that these drivers can run on. It can get a little dicey out here.
Yeah, it can get a little dicey, but there's more control of the car needed here. Obviously, I mean, there is the opportunity to go 3 wide, but not recommended to do that type of stuff. Like, I don't think so early in the race. And get some of those laps underneath your belt and find out how the car works on each lane and then make your move to the front. But I think it's going to be a good one here tonight. It is going to be fast. It is going to be tricky. And I did see some of the drivers pushing there to the limits here during practice. So it's be interesting to see if they have tamed their cars for the evening.
Yeah, the draft is going to be big, and from what we've heard over the radio too, the side draft is going to be just as big, if not maybe even bigger. So we'll see how these drivers can manipulate this track for 85 laps out here tonight. We are past the halfway point into the season. This is race number 9. Again, 15 regular season races before we break it down and go playoff racing. But we still got a lot of tough tracks to come up here on the schedule. And taking a look at the upcoming schedule here, I mean, we got after tonight, Watkins Glen, the road course, Kansas, probably certainly one that a lot of drivers are going to be looking forward to is Kansas. But then you got Talladega right after that, Charlotte, Las Vegas, both tracks that are doable and certainly can get out there and race wide open and really try and get after it. But then Martinsville. You know how I feel about Martinsville, Jimmy, and I know how you feel about Martinsville, and that is the final race of the regular season, and that is, I mean, Talladega obviously is a wild card, but man, if you're going into Martinsville, needing to get some points, needing to get up there in your respective standings to try and get yourself into the playoffs, oof, good luck to you.
Yeah, better be a short track guy. I just I'm not a short track guy, especially in Martinsville. One of the probably tougher tracks that I've had to race on a few times. And but either way, we're not there tonight. We're here at Atlanta on the new pavement, a mile and a half, right up my alley there, or a cup of tea, whatever you want to call it, you know. But it's going to be a good one here tonight. It's going to be fast and furious, and I'm sure we might see a big one if people aren't careful.
Yeah, we got a nice size field out here right now. 22 drivers set to take the green flag here tonight, so it's a good size field. Temperatures you see at 98 degrees out there, and we'll take a look at the temperatures down here on the track, and you see the track not too bad at all. 90 or a 73 degree track temperature. It's going to be nice and grippy for the drivers out here. And I know they're hoping for this thing to be night racing. And well, it's nice and cool out there. I mean, that's about the closest they're going to get. But it is early in the morning here at Atlanta. It is 7:30 in the morning is when the session opened up here. 7:30 a.m. So they'll be racing into the early morning here. So the track is just going to start to get a little bit hotter once that sun touches. You see right there over in turns 3 and 4, the sun's still not fully getting down there on the track. So you could see maybe different types of grip in 1 and 2 compared to 3 and 4.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's one thing sometimes the drivers kind of overlook is, you know, the way that the sun and the temperature can affect, the track. And even as it goes on, you know, everybody always worries about their tires and tire wear. But, you know, the weather can play a big part of the race. And I think a lot of times the drivers just kind of overlook it just a little bit.
Well, we are getting close to the end of qualifying here, but worth mentioning again, last week out there was the winner, Alan Elwood, picking up his 4th win already on the season, and I guess technically 5 wins if you include Chicagoland, where he finished in 2nd. So we'll see if he can go back-to-back here as he did in the first 2 races of this season, as qualifying has come to an end, and Alan Elwood not at the top, just barely inside the top 10. So, Jimmy, why don't you give us a rundown of those qualifying results?
Yeah, a little bit of rundown here of the qualifying results. We have Kelly Pointer on top here tonight with the pole over Craig Jancic, and then Shane Therian, Jack Stoneman, Bryce Rayner, Caleb Collins, Mike Moultrie, Daniel Wiles, Nico Garcia, and then Alan Elwood there for your top 10. And the rest of the field will be Russell Black, AJ Roderick, Matt Crockett, Dave Tilford, Jeremy Gainey, Tyler Bramble, John Crane, Kevin Foster in the field, Joseph Thomas, Casey Phelps, Diego Remy, and Tony Bramble for our 22 car field. So best of luck to all the drivers out there looking to see who can tame Atlanta here tonight.
So I know I've missed a week or two here, and trust me, I've missed it. I've missed being up here in the booth, and especially calling the CORE Xfinity Series here. It's been a blast so far this season, but I'm a little confused. I'm used to seeing Alan Elwood at the top and Shane Therian all the way at the bottom. Tonight we got Shane Therian starting in third, and I know I feel like it's been a while. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I missed a qualifying effort by him at one point, but I feel like that 3 is always in the back and finds a way towards the front, but it always seems like it's just a little bit too late when it gets to the end of the race. Now he's starting in third, so this could get very interesting here, but I mean, he's seen the gap between Kelly Pointer and Craig Jancic, 8 thousandths of a second. That small of a margin from first to second. Well, I'm sure it's going to be just as close once these boys get to it here, as looks like the pace car is pulling off. We are getting ready for some racing action here in the CORE Xfinity Series. Jimmy, I feel like it's been so long since I've been up here in the booth, just from family issues, internet issues. I mean, you name it. It's been keeping me off of the booth here with you, and it's good to be back, buddy.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be a while. I mean, I went on vacation last week, so everything just seems super fresh at the moment. So just getting everything set up, seeing who's driving this season over here for the CORE Xfinity Series. You know, and picking up some other UCRO, picked up their racing here on Tuesday nights as well. So yeah, I've been busy and on vacation all at the same time. Just the last minute kind of birthday present to my wife and the kid. Took them over to the Halloween Horror Fest over there at Universal Studios. So that was a ton of fun. But back on the track, back in the booth, back ready to call these races, ready to see if Kelly Pointer can lead the way here tonight, possibly walk away with a victory.
Pace car is down. We are getting ready for 85 laps here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It is in the hands of Barney, and we are racing here at AMS. Good start by both the inside and the outside, side by side at the line. Jancic has just a slight advantage, but you see Therian right there behind the 75, giving him a little shove into turn number 1, and still shoving him through turn number 1. You can definitely bump draft these cars if you do it correctly, but you know, just like on a super speedway, you do it wrong one time, and like Jimmy said, we could have a big one very, very quickly. But looks like a good start from the field. A little bit of a slow start towards the back there for the 039 of Tony Bramble, but out front, Kelly Pointer, Shane Therian lead the way, and then 2 by 2 the rest of the field.
Yeah, you know, back there, you know, Tony being a little newer to racing on the sim, I mean, it's not a bad move, to be honest. As you know, sometimes in some of these fast tracks, you know, there's a lot of drivers that might get overconfident and make a mistake, and you know, he could be back there and you know, miss that incident or accident as he's in the back of the field, as the 50 wants to check out for the 84 there as they touch bumpers just a little bit in the corner of 4. But coming down the front stretch, it is still Kelly Pointer over Jancic.
Yeah, Jancic on the outside in that white number 97, trying to fight his way back. And we have got a caution on the front stretch. Looks like Diego Remy, Casey Phelps involved with this one. We'll take a look back and see what brought this one out. As you see the field, I know it's only been 3 laps, but I mean, you really can't see any separation from anybody. So I think it's what we're going to see a lot here tonight, but we'll see what brought out this first caution. And the 82 of Diego Remy comes down. Maybe thought he was clear of the 17. A hard impact there. And then collects the 82. Joe Thomas, oh man, just That's horrible. It looked like he just had him cleared, but netcode just kind of reaches out and grabs him there a little bit. But hard impact there for both the 82 and the 17. That is going to bring us under our first caution here of the night. Looks like those three are the only ones involved. Big Remy still out there on the track, but it looks like Joe Thomas in there getting some repairs done. Casey Phelps, the hood off of that car. I think he might have had to tow that thing back to pit lane.
Yeah, pretty hard hit there for the 17. Unfortunately, obviously, you take that nose into the wall and can create some serious issues, especially at the speeds that they're going. They top some almost super speedway speeds on this mile-and-a-half track, so it's kind of impressive how fast they are. You do see a lot of drivers coming down, sixth back. So I see a few drivers moving around, but see 39 Tyler Bramble now up there in P7.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused here of how many people decided to come into the pits there. I mean, 2/3 of the field, 3/4 of the field coming into the pits. Only the top 6 right now left out. That the dot come into the pits at least that time. We'll see if there's any takers this time. But I mean, maybe these drivers are thinking it's going to be a lot of green flag racing, and they're just topping off on fuel and playing a different pit window type of strategy. But only 3-4 laps into the race to see that much of the field come in is kind of crazy. But yeah, that's going to give 6 spots to Russell Black. He's now up from 11th to 5th. Tony Bramble, you see him running around in the back of the field. He's going to go from 22nd shotgun in the field. He is now up 16 spots in the 6th. So we'll see how Tony handles that on the restart here. But it is Kelly Pointer at the front, Craig Jancic second, Jack Stoneman, Bryce Rayner, and Tony Bramble going to be your top 5.
And Tony maybe rethinking, like, if everybody else went down, maybe I should go down as well. Not a bad move. Advice maybe somebody that's a little newer to racing, just maybe don't feel comfortable being around everybody at those speeds right now. So not a bad call there for Tony. So he's gonna relinquish his spots, go in, get some fuel, come back out, and probably linger towards the back of the pack again. But not a bad call for Tony. When you're out there and you're newer, it can be intimidating, but at least he'll be on the same pit cycle and be able to stay out there just that little bit longer, than some of these leaders. So we'll see if we can get this thing back underneath the green and finish this thing up here very solid here tonight. We had obviously a tight schedule, as definitely will be jumping a plane and warp speeding over to Richmond for our other league that we broadcast tonight here with UCRL. So looking forward to seeing how those drivers do over there as well. So if you're done watching the Xfinity race here with CORE on CRN, head on over and continue watching the great racing over on CRN with UCRL.
Gonna get it back going green here this time by, and didn't get a chance to talk about the points that are coming in. Alan Elwood, obviously with the great season so far, he's in a 28-point lead over Nico Garcia, 46 over Mike Moultrie in both the overall and the Platinum Gold division. Then you got Craig Jancic leading by 31 over David Tilford, 45 over Diego Remy. In the bronze, Dan Phelps, 12 over John Crane, and 17 over Joe Thomas. But we are back racing here. Great restart on the inside there for Kelly Pointer, and the 49 of Jack Stoneman coming right with him. Now you see Shane Therian drops down to the inside. He liked that inside line on that first restart, or the first start of the race. And now he's going to join the 49 and see what they can do. Already reeling in the 75, and 75 didn't look like he knew where to go there. And now he is stuck 3 wide. Stoneman to the lead. Pointer just trying to white knuckle it right now, hanging out 3 wide. He cannot get into either lane coming off the corner. Still 3 wide back there. Almost a battle for the lead. But it is going to be Stoneman at the front. Now Therian jumps out of line. He is going to jump to the outside to try and get around for the lead. Here comes Pointer back, and we said how strong that side draft works. When you're in the middle, it is scary. It is nerve-wracking. It is anything that is, get out your thesaurus. It is everything in that line. But if you can handle it, if you can muscle through it, it is the fastest line. You're getting a side drive from the car on the inside. You're getting a side drive from the car on the outside. It is double the money, and that's why you see Pointer fall back there and just run right back up to the front.
Yeah, it's tough place to be. Obviously, you need to pay attention, hold your line, and hopefully the drivers around you do the same thing. You can see a little bit of a blink in there from the 49 of Stone trying to make a staple here tonight, get out front, lead some laps. So it does get frustrating when somebody is like that. But we got a pass on the outside there by maybe 7. Jansen.
Jimmy, didn't you say you can get 3 wide here, but you don't think it's going to happen? Well, you forgot who we're talking about here, the CORE Xfinity Series. These drivers like to get at it.
Wouldn't happen.
Come on now.
I said it shouldn't happen. Not necessarily, boys, but doing good so far. The drivers up front obviously been, they feel comfortable to run around, but you can see a little bit of bobble there by the 3, and if they were 3 wide right there for the lead, that could have been a miss there with that bobble. But you can see Jancic is still using that high side, trying to use that side draft and keep it up there. Just clears. Justin gets down behind the 75, so they give him a shove down the backstretch.
I think Pointer testing out the net code here tonight, as you could have put a piece of paper in between those cars. And man, I got very close with Tony Bramble there on the inside, down there in the apron. But the 3 is out there in the lead. But now here we go, 3 wide for the lead. Jack Stoneman way down on the apron, gets it back up on the track, and man, that was a ballsy move. There's no other way to explain it, but almost 4 wide there coming off the corner. Kelly Pointer in the middle, and I don't know if he wants to be there or not, but I don't think he knows where to go at this point, as it's 12 laps in, Jimmy, and it's go time.
No.
Well, we got 3 wide for the lead, so they're telling me something different. It is maybe Jancic there by a smidge at the line. Therian on the inside. Pointer again stuck in the middle. And man, this has been a heck of a start to this race. And you see 3 wide, quite a bit at your super speedway tracks, and you can see it here, but you don't normally see it for the lead this early.
Very tight right now, going through turn 4, heading down towards the front stretch, and you might see that bottom line kind of cut down, cut that corner, get down the apron just a little bit, trying to get the fastest, get the shortest distance around. But you just have to be real careful and stay off that apron during the corners. The car will get upset and wiggle around a little bit on you. But right now the drivers are doing a fantastic job in front. Had me holding my breath, a white knuckling, no steering wheel, as trying to just make a call as they come up on the 17 with Casey as he stays to the outside.
Yeah, and I would not want to be Casey Phelps right now, as this double train is coming at you very fast. And you see the driver's doing a great job so far, making their way around, and Casey doing a good job holding that high line, letting everybody pass as he is off the pace. But at the front, Shane Therian leads, still a bit of blinking from the 49. Hopefully that clears up. On the outside, Greg Jancic's got Kelly Pointer pushing right behind him, but 2 by 2 by 2. I don't know if these guys realize they got the green flag or not. They're still pacing around out here. It's just, at about 180 miles an hour.
Just an average Tuesday night here. So the speeds here at Atlanta, especially in Atlanta, are so fast. It's a lot of grip out there. A lot of, you have to be confident with the car, but you have to be confident with the drivers around you, and for them to hold their line. And the only way you can see when they got out there, a lot of practicing was going on, and a lot of pack racing, or pack practicing, I should say, trying to, see what they can do out here. But right now, the battle up front is with Therian and Stoneman. Holding off Jancic on that outside. Kelly Pointer is still in that fight there on that outside. And we have the 64 Black and the 90 Rainer in there as well. Nico Garcia sneaking up in there, and Pino don't forget about Collins back there in the 72, just kind of hanging out there on that outside, looking for maybe something to happen back there. You got Tony Bramble up there in the 39, and then Elwood back in Pete number 12. So still no show for Elwood. Maybe just seeing that how heavy it is up front and just feels comfortable back where he's at today.
Well, it looks like the drivers are maybe settled down a little bit. Has this been 2x2 now for a few laps, but obviously some great racing up here at the front, and it's really a testament to these drivers driving around each other so much, and like Jimmy said, getting that comfortability, because you can hop in any kind of race and you can see 3-4 wide racing and then immediately cautions because they don't know how those other drivers can handle the car. They don't know if you can put that guy 3 wide on the middle, if they can handle it or not. And these drivers understand each other's skills at this point. They've been running around each other for this entire season, and some of these drivers have been here for multiple seasons now, so they understand the skill levels that are in the CORE Xfinity Series, and you can do that. You can run 3 wide. You can run 3 wide for the lead and get away with it. I still don't recommend it, but it's worked out so far. But yeah, a little bit of a separation here, but I feel like these guys are kind of just off the back of the 2 wide racing here. They're just kind of hanging out right now, and really don't want to get up here in the mix because they've seen how racing they were getting so far. But it's kind of funny. We've seen all those drivers come in the pits. The only one that has made it through the field is Shane Therian. Shane Therian was one of the cars that came into pit lane, topped off on fuel. And then 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th are all the cars that stayed out, that did not pit. And then you had all the cars that came in for fuel. So that's just kind of funny how that worked out.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny, Therian trying to come in and maybe gain a little bit of fuel. He's out front. He's burning the most fuel. He has no, he's pushing all the air. He's, getting the push there by Stoneman. Using up the most fuel of probably anybody besides Jancic up there on the outside. So you kind of wonder what they're thinking. Obviously, I mean, you both fit pretty much by the same time, running at these speeds and being up front. But everything looks good so far. Trying to look back to the back of the pack here. Everybody's super close, 2 wide. I see Moultrie making a move up on that outside. Just got to run on number 56 of Roderick.
Got very close there. No, Stallman looked for a second there like he was going to go to the inside of Therian, but ball's back in line. It is 2x2x2 for the first, looks like about 12 positions or so before it starts to get spread out just a little bit. We'll take you on board here and right along with Tony Bramble, who's kind of right up here in the mix, and show you what it's like to be riding on the outside of this double wide train. You see
it's so hard. It's so hard being in a car like that. You're like, I have triple monitors, Carl, so like I can see off to my left and I can see the drivers down below me, but like as the fans out there kind of seeing what's going on, our tower there, that's on the A pillar, and that's pretty much, if you're on single monitor, that's as far as they can see. So when somebody's down there on that left side, it does, you're relying on that virtual spotter to let you know they're there, but you just don't know how close they are. And you can get pretty close to one another, but yeah, this is one of those times where you want one of those, somebody's in the wall.
Yeah, Joe Thomas doing his best to try and keep it up high and actually got him in the wall there a little bit. And you see Bramble just kind of fall back a little bit just in case there was an incident. But yeah, I mean, this is the view that you're seeing. If you're on single monitor, if you're on a laptop, if you're on whatever, this is what you're looking at. And you see, you watch it from the TV cameras, you don't really understand how much these cars are dancing around. And you've seen right there the 75 Pointer getting down almost into the 64 of Russell Black, but you right on board here with Tony Bramble. You see these cars are not exactly in a straight line. They're moving around here. They're moving and shaking. This is just too wide. So imagine how it was when they were 3 wide earlier.
Yeah, they dance around quite a bit, and it's just you can see how close they get, and you can shoot out, a car width very quickly. So that's why I was talking about, like, the big one can't happen, and obviously it's inevitable, and just the slightest of moves, and then it's really kind of hard. The jumpers just rely on our admins to kind of go back and make sure, you know, faults put on the right person the best that, you know, that we can. So, but these drivers do a pretty fantastic job out here making their way around here. Right now it is still Shane Darian battling with Jancic up front, then Kelly Pointer and Pete, number 3, Stoneman, Rayner, Black, Remy, Garcia, Tony Bramble, and for your top 10 along with Collins. So, and then back with the rest of the pack would be Moultrie, Roderick, Elwood, Tilford, Wiles, Danny, Foster, Bucket, Green, and then our first lap car will be Bramble, Phelps, and Thomas.
So Jimmy, a race like this, too wide and not exactly too much room in between the cars here. What's your preferred line? I mean, to me, obviously there's 2 lines, but there's kind of 2 different schools of thought. You can be on that inside, and you know where you can go. You can go right down to that line, all the way around the track, and you can stay there. You know, that's your line, and if somebody comes out and hits you, it's clearly on them. Or you can be on that outside line, and you got a little bit more freedom. You know, that bottom line is most likely going to stick to that line by the apron, and you kind of almost have 2 lanes that you can play around with a little bit. I mean, what's your preference?
Depends on how much fuel I got.
Caution, yellow
And
flag.
that could end up being a big one here. A few cars at the front getting involved. Now, Jack Stoneman, Kelly Pointer were certainly involved in that one. We'll see what the outcome is. But it looked like Stoneman came up. Not sure if he came up across Jancic or if Jancic came down at all. It looked like he came across the nose of that 97 and hooked hard into that outside wall.
Yeah, it was a quick and tough hit. So you can see looking back here, it looks like Jancic coming down for a little bit of a side draft. And then maybe the 49 drifting up just a little bit.
A huge amount of netcode right there was already hooking him. A lot of netcode, and that could be from that 49. We've seen the 49 blinking quite a bit. And unfortunately, big impact there. Luckily, the 56 gets by. Dave Tilford, nowhere to go. Hard impact for the 12 as well. Well, he drove through, but
I don't know if Tilford took any damage. It looked like it kind of just rolled off the front of that 12 there as he went through. But yeah, a little bit of netcode. Hooks the 49 into the wall. The Jancic goes for a little ride. 90 gets tagged, and then it just rolled some of those cars right through that one. There's Tilford, and he
lost the hood. I see the hood go flying right there.
Yeah, so nowhere for Tilford to go as the 49 was definitely spinning around. So,
and you see right there the 75 involved spinning on the outside. And looked like it might have been the 90 that also gotten a piece of that one as well. But that is going to bring us under a second caution. It wasn't the big one, but involved a few of our leaders. And, I mean, I can't really put the blame on anybody because it started by netcode. It clearly was netcode that got involved. I know the 97 was coming down there to get a little bit of a side draft. The 49 drifted up just a little bit. But, again, we've seen that 49 blinking throughout this race. And I'm sure between that and the close racing, that is what brought netcode into play, and that is unfortunately what hooked them into the outside wall. Looks like quite a few drivers here, or actually 2 of them, it looks like the 17 and the 49 are looking to get a waiver out here as the 17 is going to come into the pits. The 82 of Diego Remy is going to end up being your leader after this one. Everybody did come into the pits. Quite a few of them took tires, but Remy in the 82 is deciding not to take a set of tires this time.
Limiting the tires in the pits there for these drivers. So it's you got to use them wisely, obviously. So they have they got 3 sets of tires. So they are close to, and they're about a third of the way through. So using a set right now is not a bad idea, but. We'll see what happens, and if the 82 can stretch those tires just a little bit longer and then keep, maybe a set for later in the run where pay off even bigger.
Well, we're going to get it back green here at the start of lap number 34, so we're still not at the halfway point, and these drivers have been mighty racy since the beginning of this thing, so we'll see if they end up fanning out going 3 wide again. But top 10 now is going to be made up of Diego Remy, Shane Therian, Greg Jancic, Russell Black, Nico Garcia, Mike Moultrie, Caleb Collins, AJ Roderick, Alan Elwood, and Dave Tilford. So Tilford getting that thing patched back up mighty quickly and back out there in the top 10. Haven't talked too much about Daniel Wiles. He's back there just outside the top 10 in 11th. Then you got Jeremy Gainey, Kelly Pointer back in 12th, Bryce Rayner, and Tyler Bramble going to round out your top 15. But we're getting ready to fire these boys back off. The 82 of Remy waiting, and now jumping on that loud pedal, and a great start on the inside by him. Jancic sticks to him on that restart. The 51 now of Nico Garcia going to follow suit, so that outside line did not get going quickly at all. You see now Therian going to drop down the inside, but what a restart by the inside, Jimmy.
Yeah, nice jump by the inside. So I don't know if those two are teammates, but definitely got a nice jump there. But now we got the 51 and the 3. Now catching back up. Big single file here up front for these drivers. Then back there to the 5 of Alan Elwood back there in P number 9. So, but these drivers not messing around. That's the chance. Who's that? 51, Nico Garcia and Therian on the outside.
Stoneman had some issues here. We'll take a look at it here. Blown engine, and ends up towing it back to the pits. Not sure exactly what happened on that, but you see that 49 going up in smoke, and that could be the end of the night there for the 49 after running up front for so long. But how about the outside run? Nico Garcia, your new leader here at Atlanta, getting pushed by his teammate there of Shane Therian. Then right behind them is the 72 of Caleb Collins working his way up here. And look who else has joined the field up here at the front. I know it's not even halfway yet, but it's the 5 is trying to get up here and join his teammates. That is Alan Elwood, now up into the top 5 on the inside. He is 3rd in line behind Remy and Jancic, who gets a little bit squirrely through the corner.
A little bit of boost there on that back end of that 57. Probably got Alan Elwood's heart rate up just a little bit as he's trying to make his way up forward. It's kind of taking his time now. You know, it's plenty of racing still here. As we're only on lap 37 of 85. You can see a lot of SWM up front. Teammates trying to work together to, you know, try to take away a 1, 2, 3, 4 finish. But they have a lot of competitors here looking to make their way to the top as well. So, Nico Garcia out front with Jancic and Therian battling it, and Jancic down to the inside.
I think I seen Dave Topher getting in a wall back there, and apparently, yeah, Jancic made a heck of a move. Went to the outside, got around Diego Remy. So whether they're teammates or not, he left them out to dry as he went to the outside, got around him, then cut back to the inside and tried to get the lead. He is now the first car in line on the inside, and still battling for the lead, and give it by a slight advantage there to Jancic over Garcia on the outside, where they're starting to get 2 by 2 once again. And I think this is what we're going to see for a majority of this race here. I mean, he's seen a nice little restart from a few of the drivers. It looked like it was single file, but that lasted about maybe 2 laps, and they're right back at it.
Yeah, you see Mike Moultrie getting up there in the mix as well, below the 72 of Caleb Collins. But yeah, a lot of Malin going up here up front, top 10, basically side by side as the rest of the field looks to be single file, kind of just hanging out.
Yeah, I kind of don't blame him after that first. I mean, it was a good job by a lot of the drivers avoiding that caution. I mean, it could easily have collected a lot more drivers. It was kind of right up there in the racing line, and I was on the backstretch, so you had a little bit of room to maneuver, but a great job avoiding the major issues there and getting out of the way, and only collecting 3 or 4 cars. But and 2 by 2 by 2 for the first 8 positions right now. Before you got a little bit of a gap back there to Bramble and Russell Black rounding out your top 10.
Oh man, I think catch the cold somewhere floating around. We were kids back in the school, you know.
Oh, I hear you. You gotta tell me about that. It's a revolving door here.
I don't miss when kids don't go to school. As a matter of fact, you know, when the whole COVID thing happened, we decided all the kids to do homeschooling. Nobody in this house got sick. Nobody. We feel like 2 years now. It was so awesome. But yeah, now the kids are back in school, and it's just, you know, it's school.
Yeah.
you get everything there. So definitely, you never know what it is. It could be a cold, it could be COVID, it could be, who knows? We'll just call it sick.
Yeah, man, it seems like at any time anymore, it's not just, you know, the common cold. There's like 3 things at once. You never just get one thing anymore. You never just get, you know, a little bit of a runny nose. It's always like 6 or 7 different symptoms because you got 3 or 4 different sicknesses at once. But I digress. It's getting racy again up here. You've seen some bump drafting. You see some pretty aggressive moves by these drivers, moving in and out of lanes and shifting back and forth. But at the front right now, it is as a blink out there. Oof, that was a pretty big blink out there from Alan Elwood as he's running in second behind Nico Garcia. Craig Chancik on the outside. He's got the 3 of Shane Thurian behind him. But these SWM teammates are starting to gang up here as they got, looks like 4 of the top 5 right now. As you got the 56 there of AJ Roderick. Maybe he's just kind of dusting off the cobwebs here. I know it's an oval, but we got Watkins Glen coming up next week, and he's definitely one of the road course specialists here in the series. I would look to see what he can do out there, but there's plenty of guys that can definitely turn right just as well as turning left. But I know that's probably one that he's looking forward to. So maybe just making sure the wheel is all greased up and the pedals are still working before he can get out there at the Watkins Glen next week.
Yeah. Got Chancik up there holding that outside there and trying to work your way around the teammates there. He's falling back just a little bit, but he's holding up Thurian just a little bit, and Thurian doing as much as he can to kind of involve Chancik, because we know he's got some speed, so pushing up front and hopefully leave that 3 back up towards the front where he started. But right now it is Nico Garcia with Alan Elwood, Chancik, Roderick, Thurian, Murphy, Remy, Black, Collins, and Bramble for your top 10.
And if you're new to the series here on the CORE Xfinity Series, the colored numbers tell you what division they are in. So the gold ones, obviously, in the gold division, the silver and the silver, and then the bronze and the bronze. And you see, typically the way this thing hashes out, it works out pretty well. And you see those gold drivers, those drivers that should be towards the front are towards the front. The silver ones kind of towards the middle of the pack, and then those bronze ones towards the back, and they're still kind of learning and getting their feet wet. The 2 drivers in red, Jack Stoneman and Russell Black, still have their rookie colors. The rookies are in red, and they will be in red for the first 5 races until they establish a core rating, and then they'll get put into their respective division. But the gold is up there at the front. The only one competing with them right now in the silver is Craig Jansen. He's been up there the whole race, but now Elwood slides his way up to the top lane, and he has got a chance now to lead his first laps of the race, but he's got to try and get around his teammate Nico Garcia on the inside.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we'll see. You know, it's not easy. You know, teammates on closer have the ability to get the lap led, and I think right there, you know, obviously it could be, you know, obviously help each other out, get that extra point, whether, you know, somewhat in the championship, but don't think each other out, just kind of keep running around each other, doing a fantastic job right now. Got Lyle and SWN guys up front, but you know, can't count out the other drivers that are out there. I guess still got Jansic sitting in there. Mike Moultrie is making his way up to the field as well, down there in that 3rd row on the bottom. So just take his time, getting his way up there, and you know, we've seen the 84 up front. Then you have Kelly Pointer in the 75. You see him get involved in an accident, but can't forget that he started on the pole, so we know that he has a fast number 75, and he's working his way up, back up toward the front. Just kind of methodically, just kind of doing what the 75 normally does. Just takes his time, and if he can get there, he'll get there. But again, just don't count the 75 out yet.
we could be getting close to our first round of green flag pit stops as well. We haven't had enough of a green flag run to determine what kind of fuel mileage these drivers are getting, but we figure it's probably going to come around the 55 to 60 lap mark before we see them come in, which could end up being at their last pit stop of the races. Right now, we've got 34 laps to go at the line, but it is side by side with the teammates here. Elwood on the outside, he's got Jansen behind him. And then the inside, it is Nico Garcia and AJ Roderick. And we've seen Roderick get in the back of that 51 a couple times and really get the 51 a little bit loose on the inside. He was able to save him the apron a couple times, but now the teammate's going to line it up 3 in a line there. And really, Mulcher's the only one that's protected him right now from being 4 in a row on the inside. Jancic is fine being on the outside. He's got Remy right behind him. And looks like it's Tyler Bramwell there on the outside as well. But Moultrie gets into the back of the 56. And now we are going to end up seeing, I was going to say it should be another caution here. It was taking a while to come out. It looked like it started with contact between the 84 and the 56. Let's take a look at that one more time.
It's already happened there as a 56 goes down the pit lane.
Yeah, we'll take it back here a little bit more.
She's got to go back quite a bit.
That's a good view right there.
'84 just got a nice run. And it looks like the 56 might checked up. Oh, no,
right there, 56 got
loose,
loose, and then actually, it looks like he might have gotten a 51 as well.
Well, they come off that They come off the apron there just that little bit, and you see the cars kind of get like really had. And I'm watching a 56 down in pit lane right now, and he actually does hit the wall in the pit lane there, but the 84 gonna hit that outside wall there along with the 64.
Yeah, the 64 ended up getting into the 75, which shot him down into the 84 Moultrie and sends them around. So a little mini big one here at Atlanta, and again involving some of our top drivers. You see Moultrie locking up to try and stay off the track so he doesn't get destroyed by anybody else coming by. But again, I mean, a pretty good job of everyone, wreck avoidance. Again, it could have been very big by a lot of people, but man, it looked like the 51 and the 56 kind of got simultaneously loose through the first part of the quad over there, and there's just no time for Moultrie to check up. He gets in the back of the 56 and sends him down into pit lane. But that's going to allow these drivers to get a free pit stop, and now the question is, can they make it all the way to the end? 30 laps, they should be able to. I mean, some of these drivers didn't pit until lap 31. Granted, they had some caution laps in between there, but drivers could be good to go all the way to the end. But if they are, do tires maybe not matter as much as these guys originally anticipated? Because we've got, looks like 6 of the top 7 electing not to take tires.
Yeah, I mean, after, who was it? Somebody stayed out. And
Remy,
tires.
Remy.
And it really didn't matter very much. I mean, it's because of the draft, Carl. I mean, the draft is such a huge factor getting around here now. I think newer tires can allow you to maybe make a move and, stick a little better on some of those situations, but I don't think they're like an overall, like, you need new tires in order to kind of hang with the leaders. So I mean that's what I'm seeing here. So, but I think right now we're going to see some good racing here. We are. Where are we at? How many laps we got left?
We're at 30 laps left at this point, and I'm waiting for the day that iRacing finally makes that pace car an actual object. As of right now, it's out there, you can see it, but it's essentially a ghost car. You can drive through it, you can do whatever you want, you can drive inside of it if you want to. But I'm waiting for the day where iRacing decide, you know, maybe just for a day, just to make it an actual object, and just see the horror of the guys that come up to it and think they can mess around, and all of a sudden they destroy their front end, or they get spun out by the pace car. It's gonna be a glorious day, even if it's only a day that it happens.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine? You know, you've been. I've been ladder racing for about a little over 4 years now. So, you know, a lot of drivers go up there and they mess around, just kind of, you know, go up and drive in the pace car or whatever. But yeah, I mean, go up there and then get black flag because you hit the pace car. That would be even awesome. So, but we're getting back ready to go back green here because Alan Elwood leads the pack.
Right on board here with David Toford as, yeah, Alan Elwood looking to go back-to-back here after winning last week. Good restart by both lanes as we head off into turn number 1. Elwood now looking to slide up in front of in front of Nico Garcia. They were trying to take the 3 of Shane 3 along with him, but now 3 wide as we got Bramble on the inside, pinching Jancic there a little bit, who gets close to getting into Garcia. But now how about Tyler Bramble, the 39, looking to try and lead a lap here, just going to miss out there. Elwood says he's got to wait at least one more lap to try and get up there, but he's going to try and find some friends up there right now. Looks like he's going to try and get a little side draft there from Jancic, but kind of stuck down there without any friends pushing him right now. Kelly Pointer trying to get there, but you see already 3 cars are along past. Jancic all over the backside of that 5 and just kind of waiting for his moment to dive down to the bottom and get around. But we are we're getting close to what I would consider is go time here. I mean, with everybody so close to each other and drafting such a big part, it may end up being down to 5 laps to go before it's officially go time. But you see, this time on this restart, the field looks spread out just a little bit more.
Yeah, it's spread out just a little bit. They know that they have to, you know, finish this thing up here as we're coming down to 25 laps remaining, or 27 right now. So they should be able to make it the rest of the way, but they need to be careful. And I think we're going to see some big moves being made here in like 5 to 10 laps, you know, other than what we've already seen so far.
Right there, you see the 51 Nico Garcia try to get down and get a run, and Jancic seen it coming, so he rode that wave right to the front. Now the 97 back to the point as Elwood tries to run back on the outside. He's got Diego Remy on the outside with him, and then the 90 of Reiner rejoining the fray up here. He got involved in the early incident when he got into Kelly Pointer when he spun in front of him, but he is back up there in the mix now in 6th place. But Diego Remy is the one that you got to watch. He started back there second last in the field, one of the 2 cars that did not set a lap time. He had to come all the way through the field. He's done it a couple times now. He's in 3rd place right now, right behind Alan Elwood, trying to battle up here for this lead. We've got 24 laps to go here at Atlanta.
One of the laps here remaining at this very fast and exciting track here tonight right now. And Alan Elwood has made his presence known finally here tonight as he is in the lead over Jancic, Remy, Garcia, Reiner, Therian, Pointer, Dilford, Tyler Bramble, and Collins for your top 10.
So it's about that time that these drivers are back at it and revving these engines loud. It's time to take a listen to it and crank it up with a little love to hear it.
Okay.
beautiful sights and sounds of the CORE Xfinity Series as we are getting closer to the end of this thing and deciding who's going to win tonight's race. Will it be Alan Elwood grabbing another win here in the season, or is somebody new going to come here and try and take the throne? Diego Remy on the outside, trying to get up to the front. He's got Bryce Reiner right behind him, but Elwood has got Jancic and Nico Garcia on that inside as well. So it's still 2 by 2 by 2. We've seen as we hopped on board with some of these drivers, it's getting very, very close and really, really pushing the issue here. And it looked like might have been an issue there towards the back for the 75 coming off of that corner, and he's going to fall all the way to the back of this field. That is Kelly Pointer, so he is going to have to really fight back now. Not sure what is going on there for the 75, but he fell back pretty quickly there on that last lap. But we have got 11 laps to go. It's going to be 10 next time by. It's still Alan Elwood at the front. Looks like a big move to the inside there. Not going to work out too well. Trying to see who that was back there. Unless he was just trying to get back up onto the track. That was actually Kevin Foster. I haven't talked much about him. Trying to work his way back up here into the top 10. And it's got to be go time for these guys back here. Obviously, the drivers up there in the top 10 are all up there in the mix. But from 11th on back, the ones that are just out of reach here, Jimmy, they got to catch up and start getting mixing it up.
Yeah, they definitely need to get in the mix and start catching up as we are coming down to the end here. And obviously, everything is in a tough battle here. And so, getting ready to head over to Richmond and broadcast yet another race. So looking forward to getting things done here. But Alan Elwood out front over Jancic, Remy, Rainer, Garcia, Therian, Heaney, Tilford, John Crane getting up there, and Daniel Wiles. Pretty tough time.
Leading at lap number 77 this time by, so we are getting down to the nitty-gritty. It's time to start making your moves, and you see Kevin Foster has joined this mix. It's now an 11-car breakaway at the front. Actually, I'm sorry, it's a 12-car breakaway as Daniel Wiles also joined the fray up here. And we haven't talked about Daniel Wiles too much as well. Certainly a man that's trying to get back up there in the points battle, and now he finds himself up here in the mix. But how about the car right in front of him? We don't talk too much about some of these bronze drivers, but John Crane in the orange, Reese's number 11 is up there, and 2 spots in front of him. And directly in front of him is the 45 of Jeremy Gainey. Both these drivers, bronze drivers, but up here in the mix, trying to get a chance at stealing a win here at Atlanta as we've got 7 laps to go. Little breakaway now as Alan Elwood has pulled away with Craig Jancic. Looks like Nico Garcia going to join him. They're coming up on the lap car of Tony Bramble. Elwood tried to get a little draft off him, but Bramble pulls down to the inside. Now heading off into turn number 3. Almost 3 wide, and we got contact. We've got 2 cars into the wall, and now we got more action back there. We've got a caution. And this thing is going to come down to a green-white checkered.
They'll finish the race under a green-white checkered. I mean, it makes things so interesting, Carl.
Not sure if Nico Garcia was going up there to try and block the run of Remy or not, but he certainly got involved in that one. We'll take a look at that one more time. And you see the 82 shoots to the outside, and not sure if the 51 was, it looks like he was just fighting a loose car, chasing up the track and gets into the 82. Luckily for the 90, he's allowed to get on by very quickly. And it looks like Remy gets away for the moment, but as he drifts down the track, Mike Moultrie nowhere to go, gets into the 82, sends him sideways. And the 72, you see him trying to get around them as much as possible. And, I mean, what a fantastic move there by Caleb Collins. He does not touch these guys at all. We're going to have to ride on board with the 84 there. I mean, the 72 for sure. But That is going to be a big caution here at the end. We got a few drivers coming into the pits. But we'll take a ride on board there with Caleb Collins again for this one and show you what exactly he's seen and how he got through with this 72. Unbelievable job, unbelievable save there from Caleb Collins. Keeps that thing straight and going and doesn't touch Moultrie at all somehow, some way. But gonna bring us under a very late caution here. Alan Elwood at the front, Craig Jancic, Jeremy Geaney, bronze driver in third place. Bryce Reiner in fourth, another bronze of John Crane there in fifth. So two of the top five right now are bronze drivers, and I mean, you got to pick your spots, and sometimes it's the super speedway type races where you have a chance at getting your first win on the season, and both these drivers definitely have a shot this late in the race. Looks like the pace car lights are out, so we are going to get this thing back going green before green-white checkered. So it's not going to use up one of our green-white checkers here. It's going to be a green, well, two greens, I guess, a white and a checker to finish this thing out. But it's going to be Alan Elwood, Craig Jancic, Jeremy Geaney, Bryce Reiner, John Crane, Daniel Wiles, Dave Tilford up there, Russell Black, Mike Moultrie gets back out there after getting the damage repaired. And looks like Caleb Collins is going to be up there still as well in the top 10. So fantastic drive by all these guys up here at the front. Man, this thing has been fun for the first 82 laps. I'm expecting it to get just maybe a little bit spicier these last few laps.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get any spicier than the final few laps of a race, especially when it comes down to such a very competitive and very close track. But these drivers have been doing a fantastic job. And the colleges have been a little quiet because I'm in the teleportation mode moving over to Richmond. But these guys have been doing one heck of a job here as we finish up here tonight.
Absolutely. Make sure you tune in to me and Jimmy as we're going to be heading to Richmond, Virginia from here. It's not too far, but we're keeping on the East Coast here. But we've got 3 big laps to go here at Atlanta to decide tonight's winner. Alan Elwood gets a great restart on the inside, but Geaney does not behind him. And that's going to allow Jancic and the 90 of Reiner to move down into second and third. Wiles had a chance to get up there, but just not enough. He's going to be alongside Jeremy Geaney going through 1 and 2. It's going to be 2 to go at the line. Jancic now shoots to the outside. He's got the help from the 90 of Reiner to get around Elwood, but the rest of the field is coming. They're coming fast. And here comes Geaney up to second in line on the inside. And how about this bronze and bronze behind your championship leader right now? But it's Jancic at the line. He's got Reiner right behind him now. Look for 3 wide, but going to fall back in line. Heading off into 1 and 2. 2 laps to go, and we could have a big one here in the front. Several cars involved, including the 5 of Elwood, the 90 of Reiner. You see the 39 of Bramble, the 56 of Elwood. This was mighty big one here at the end, and it's got to bring us to a green-white checkered. We'll take a look and see exactly what happened here. And the 90 looked like he was drifting up just a little bit, and the 5 gets into the back corner of him, coming off the corner, and that is, if that was an attempt at a bump draft, that was a bump draft gone wrong, and you see the 45 gives them a shot into him. The 64 gets up there into the wall. Somehow, Mike Moultrie gets a little shot there from the 3, but otherwise gets through this thing. The 3 tries to thread the needle there, but major chaos. And you see the 39 there of Bramble getting into the 3 very hard. So a lot of race winning cars getting wrecked very late here in this one. And man, this shook up the order big time. We'll go back live and show you what the order looks like. You got Craig Jancic at the front, Daniel Wiles outside the top 10 this entire race, and it's paid off. He is up there in second place right now. He's still got our two bronze boys in third and fourth now, Jeremy Gainey, John Crane. Then you got Dave Topher now up into the top 5. Caleb Collins, Kevin Foster, Kelly Pointer, Nico Garcia, and then your 10th place is still in pit lane, still to be decided right now. But what a shakeup here late here at Atlanta. And man, I mean, these drivers have been going at it all race long, and a few cautions here and there, but this one ended up being a pretty big one, taking out a few drivers and making them use their faster pairs up. And it's still not over. There's still a lot of guys that came in here, took some tires. You never know what they can do, how much they can move their way through the field. And we'll have 2 attempts here at the green and white checkered. I'm sure they can't get done fast enough for any of these drivers who are up there in the top 5 right now. I know if you're Gainey or Crane, of course, you want to try and get up there and get your first win, but this is some big, valuable points here right now, finishing inside the top 5 if it were to end right now. Jimmy has indeed made his trip over to Richmond Raceway as he's getting ready to broadcast the UCRL Fire Breathers Throwback Cup Series powered by Rogue Energy over there. And looking forward to getting back in the booth with them as well. I had some issues again the last couple of weeks and have not gotten a chance to broadcast anything for them this season. So has not been great, but this has been great right here, and it's been a lot of great racing here in the CORE Xfinity Series, and it's been a really, really good race so far, as there's been a lot of side-by-side battling the entire race. I don't think we've had a lead of more than 0.2 of a second this entire race, and it's driven like a super speedway race, and you know, for better or worse, that's what this new Atlanta can do. But Jancic has been at the front pretty much the entire race, finds himself in the lead now as a control car. The rest of the top 5 and for most of the top 10 have not been in the top 5 or top 10 the entire race. They find themselves there now, so what will they do? How much will they throw caution to the wind to try and get up there and get a higher finishing spot, or maybe even battle for this win? I mean, Jancic had a lot of different people he was working with throughout this race. If he had any friends, they are buried towards the back right now, and I'm not saying these guys are enemies, but I'm sure they're going to go out there and try and gun for that first win on the season. Pace car is off. It is in the hands of Jancic. He is your leader, your control car. He is on the loud pedal, and we are back racing. Green, white, checkered time. We are in overtime here. Great restart from the 97. Wiles gets down to the inside. He's going to run in second, and we've got another set of cars spinning. We'll take a look at what brought this one out. It's going to involve a few more cars as well. And that's going to bring it under another green-white checkered. And the top 4 are going to remain the same. Jancic, Wiles, Gainey, and Crane, and Foster is now in 5th place after not talking about him really at all. But let's take a look at what brought this caution out here. And I know I've seen it back here, how it looks like Garcia tries to go 3 wide. Very ambitious move there going into turn 1, and just not going to happen. The 12 gets involved. The 72 gets spun out. The 3 took a bit of a shot, but he gets around there. And you see the 5 of Elwood involved again. The 39, the 82, a little bit from the 64. That is another semi-big one here at Atlanta to finish this thing out. And take it back live, and this thing is going to finish out very soon. But we're going to have one last attempt at a green-white checkered here. It is Craig Jancic in the lead. Can he hold him off for one more restart? A few drivers having to come into the pits. Kelly Pointer and David Topher now coming in. Again, we're in double overtime right now, essentially. So these drivers may not have taken enough fuel to make it all the way this deep in the field. And you see quite a few drivers coming in. I know some of them were involved in that wreck. As you see, the 10 of Crockett coming around, getting one of his laps back here. Still got 13 drivers on the lead lap. But man, a lot of them have been involved in something or another, but not for these guys that are up front right now. Looks like Jeremy Gainey, unfortunately, is one of them that had to come into pit lane. So it's going to leave one lone bronze driver, and that is John Crane. You see him right there. Can't really miss him, and kind of getting me a little hungry there in the 11 Reese's machine. So now with everything that has gone on so far, everything has transpired, we're going to have one more green-white checkered. Who you got? Who do you think is going to pull this thing off? Jancic is a control car, but again, just like any super speedway race, being the leader isn't necessarily the best thing to be late in the race. You got Daniel Wiles on the outside, has just been kind of cruising most of this race back outside the top 10. Kevin Foster kind of doing the same thing. You got John Crane up there looking to be the spoiler. Shane Therian back up there now inside the top 5. He's in 5th. Mike Moultrie back up there in 6th as well. So some championship contenders moving their way up through, and this is the time to do it. Alan Elwood looks to be out of the race. He's going to finish in 18th as it stands right now. That is a huge setback, and it could end up being one of his drop races for the year. We got to finish this one out first, and this thing is going to get mighty interesting here as pace car lights are out, and we should be going green this time by as the field gets situated. Looks like the 82 of Dagan Remy getting back out there, getting as much repairs done as possible before he gets back and joins the field. And realistically, he may not need a clean car because they could be getting some more cars together here before this thing ends, and he can pass a few of them that way. But man, I don't know what to expect anymore from these guys. It's been a fantastic race so far, and you got a lot of drivers that are hungry for that first win on the season and really want to try and boost their chances at making the playoffs here. And again, we're past the halfway point now, so some of these drivers may be feeling the pressure and needing to make some moves to try and get themselves in position, but they're all going to be chasing the 97 of Jancic here on this restart. It sounds like for Gainey, he ended up getting DQ'd for not stopping for repairs. So that is an extremely hurt piece there for a great run for the 45. But green flag is back out. We are racing. Not really a great start for either lane, but Jancic is going to get to the lead. Looks like Wiles thought about going to the inside, but he's got a nice little push there from Foster on the outside, so they're going to hang it out there. Jancic goes up the block and take a little bit of the run away, but the 11's getting a bit of a run on the inside. And now Jancic doesn't know where to go. He can't protect both lanes. Wiles goes to the outside. He's got Foster pushing him down the backstretch into turn number 3. Wiles gets a nose in front, but Jancic comes up, a little side draft off the corner. White flag in the air one more time by 3 wide. Here comes Therian sending it on the inside. He's going to get past John Crane. Gets onto the apron a bit. We got some cars wrecking back there behind. And now Crane gets turned around as well. Still side by side for the lead. They are racing back to the line. A lot of points still up for grabs. Wiles on the outside. Jancic doesn't have anybody helping him. Which side draft is going to prevail first? It looks like Jancic's got an edge, but they're battling. And now through the grass, Jancic is going to get it done. Looks like, wow, Wiles going to get second. Foster through the grass for third. Bramble going to come home in fourth. Therian in fifth. What a wild, wild finish. take a look at that one more time coming off the final corner. And you see Wiles had a lead going into turn number 3, but Jancic using that little bit of side draft entering the corner and just gets a bit of an edge coming out. And Wiles doing everything he can on the outside, just cannot get it done. You see Foster kind of hanging back, wanting to try and get a run on both of them, and starts to coming off of the corner. But I think when they get together, I think he gets touched a little bit and gets sent into the grass. And you see him right here going to the inside. Oh, looks like maybe some netcode contact there for the 97. And then he comes down, gets into the 8. And that is your finish right there, as Jancic just gets back up there in front of the 48. Wild finish here at Atlanta. As Jancic back to the starting line here, he's going to burn it down, and what a finish here for the 97, and he ran up front most of the race, but good fight back there from the 48 of Daniel Wiles, and a good points night for sure. Kevin Foster going to come home in third, as we'll bring up our full race results here. Actually, we'll do that after Jancic burns it out. If he's got anything left, he may be out of fuel. Looks like he might be. So I guess nothing to see here. We can just go and bring it up. It is, that's the qualifying results. Bring it up here. That is Greg Jancic, your winner here by .063. Daniel Wiles, Kevin Foster, Tyler Bramble, and Shane Thurian, your top 5. Then you got Nico Garcia, Dave Tilford, Caleb Collins, Diego Remy, and Mike Moultrie going to come home in your top 10. Kelly Pointer, John Crane, Bryce Reiner, Russell Black, Joseph Thomas, your top 15. Rounding out the rest of the field is Matt Crockett, Jeremy Gainey, Alan Elwood, AJ Roderick, Tony Bramble, Casey Phelps, and Jack Stoneman. Unfortunately, with this thing running a little bit late and with UCRL already starting up over there, I'm going to have to hop the plane as well to get over to Richmond and join Jimmy. But this has been a fun one. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe and get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. We'll try and get these drivers from the top 3, bit of an interview next week before the race, and talk to them about this crazy finish. But that's going to do it for Jimmy Covert and myself, Carl Handwork, and at the CRN booth. We'll see you at the track.